Today we're going to be going over how to make Hardgroove techno. To go along this video, you can get this full project file, samples, MIDI, presets, entire template you just heard in the intro is available at the top of the description on my website. Thanks for the support, guys. It really helps keep me going, and let's dive in. So we're at 140 BPM, and this is actually significant. I've noticed because a lot of hard techno and kind of like harder styles, we're going up to 150 and above recently, but Hardgroove, you keep it around 140, maybe even like 138. And it has that, like, enough space to where it's not slow, but it's also not just like, right? So first thing we got here is the low end. Starts with a kick. We got a nice fat 909 kick here. You can see I pitched it to get it in key with the bass. And we're also cutting a lot of sub out of there, so there's not too much. Then we have this bass line, and this bass line actually, it seems crazy. Basically what we're doing is it's in the key of D. We're jumping between D and then the 5th, which will be A, right? And it's like this 16th note glide, so it's like if I put it up higher, you can really... It's just doing that constantly, right? But it creates this like heavy rhythm. For the actual sound on this, we got a triangle wave, low pass. We're cutting out a bit of sub again here, side chaining it, and then converting it to mono. Now, the thing about Hardgroove is like these two sound good together, but you want a little bit more movement in the low end. And that's where this drum rack comes in. So what we got here is we've got a bunch of tom samples doing this groove, right? So like the bass line is like constant, and then this is like dancing around it, right? So we've got that. It's just being low passed, high passed as well, so it doesn't clash with the main bass, but it can still fit into the low end a bit, kind of on top of it. We've got the utility converting it to mono, and then we're side chaining that. And then on the whole low end group, we got a little bit more sub cut, and then a utility converting it to mono. Then we've got the hi-hats. So we got this fat 909 hi-hat. You can see I made it a bit shorter, which makes it groove better with the kick. See, because it doesn't overlap with the kick. If I have it playing like... See, if it overlaps with the kick, it grooves a little bit kind of behind there. So yeah, I've just got that. And then we've got these 909 hi-hats. And then these are nice and crunchy. So the first thing I'll say about that is pitch them down, right? You can use all the distortion you want, but if you pitch your 909 hi-hats down, that's what'll really give you that like crunchy old school feel. So you can see I got these down -4. We got a little bit of redux and then some side chain on there. Pretty simple, but then comes the percussion loops. Now, when it comes to Hardgroove, it's all about this. Obviously, when you hear this stuff all playing together, that's when you probably go, oh yeah, that sounds like some Hardgroove. Right? And what it is it's using loops, which a lot of people kind of are against, but it's like a very specific magic to using the loops. I think you have to be, very intentional, and I think you have to kind of know what you're doing here to make this work. And the key to this is they're all doing different things. And this is why it's not just like using loops. It's actually like, an actual skill of putting them together and not having stuff clash and creating that groove. So like we start with this one. Very much mid-rangey. And there's this sped up house groove, which is also being high pass. And so you see if you put those together, right? One's in the high end, one's in the mid-range. They're going to fit really well. Then we got these bongos, which obviously like, again, like it's all complementing each other. It's not clashing. Some more kind of mid-range percussion. A little bit of break percussion from one of my hard techno packs. And then another house groove. And so again, when you hear all of these individually, you can tell they're very different. So then when you put them together, they're all going to fit. And there's really not that much processing needed. Besides side chaining and maybe a little high pass on some of them, you don't need that much because again, it's about the actual sound going into it rather than how you're going to process it. Then we've got a little bit more percussion, so we've got this. This is this drum rack that I brought in from Ableton over here, and it's just got a few little sounds. You can hear that popping in and out there, right? It's just like a very sparse sound. And then there's the snare. Now this snare is definitely one of those cases where like on its own it might sound a little bit, but when you play it with everything, it grooves really well with these sounds. Just like a nice deep snare like this. So then we've got the synths. So yeah, this is kind of where that like modern Hardgroove thing comes in with artists like CHLAR and stuff. So what's happening here is it's two of these playing together. We got this. And then this. So what we're doing here is this. I actually chopped up this synth loop that I made a while ago. Maybe you guys recognize it, but yeah, so I chopped that up just literally doing this, slice to new MIDI track, and then eighth notes. So you get all these little tiny melodic chunks. Right, and it creates these very pretty little sounds, and then you can create a groove out of those. And I'll show you with no effects what it's sounding like. Right, so there's a lot of cool melodic content in that sample that you're utilizing here. So then we got a little bit of delay, 16th notes. A low pass, which has an 8th note, saw down LFO, so it's like, right, like that. Then we've got a little bit more delay after that, actually. Like a slower delay. We'll bring the volume up, right, because it was super quiet. And then we're high passing it and side chaining it. There you go. And then this one. So this is just this one stab. This is actually from my Definitive Deep Minimal House chord stabs. Right, really simple. It's just going through a little bit of flanger, some high pass, and a side chain. Plus I'm bringing the width down on the stereo, because it was like a little bit too wide for techno, if you ask me. But then really the magic here is how these two fit together, right? Because on their own, they're pretty cool, but then you put them together. And see, it creates that groove even without hearing any drums. So then when you bring all the drums back in, it's going to hit properly. And yeah, so that's me for this one, guys. I hope you enjoyed. As always, make sure to like this video as well as subscribe. And let me know what you think of this video in the comments. Like I said in the beginning, you can get this full project, samples, MIDI, presets. Everything from this video is available at the top of the description on my website. If you guys enjoyed these videos, definitely go grab that. It really helps support me and keep me going so I can keep bringing new videos to this channel every day. Thanks for the support, guys, and I'll see you tomorrow with another video.